The chapter Regional Aspirations explains the complex issue of nation building in India, particularly in the 1980s, and how regional aspirations for autonomy, often outside the Indian Union, posed significant challenges to the unity and diversity of the nation. Let's break down the key points in the chapter, but first, do subscribe to Ritesh Budden. Number 1. Introduction to Nation Building. The chapter begins by explaining that nation building is an ongoing process and it cannot be accomplished once and for all times. Over time, new challenges emerged and some old problems remained unresolved. Number 2. Please note down. Regional aspirations for autonomy. As democratic experiments unfolded, people from different regions of India began to express their aspirations for autonomy, sometimes even outside the framework of the Indian Union. These expressions often involved long struggles, aggressive actions, and armed assertions by the people. Then, the next point, number 3, challenges in the 1980s. The 1980s were marked by significant conflicts and accords in various regions of India, especially in Assam, Punjab, Mizoram, and Jammu and Kashmir. The chapter suggests that the Janta experiment had come to an end and there was some political stability at the center during this decade. Then next point, number 4, key questions. The text raises several questions, including factors contributing to tensions arising from regional aspirations, how the Indian state responded to these challenges, the difficulties in balancing democratic rights and national unity, and the lessons for achieving unity with diversity in a democracy. Then the next point, number 5, Indian approach to diversity. It emphasizes that India's approach to diversity differs from some European countries where cultural diversities was seen as a threat to the nation. India adopted a democratic approach that allowed political expression of regional aspirations without considering them as anti-national. The next point, number 6, tensions and problems. The text acknowledges that while democratic politics allows regional aspirations to be expressed, it can lead to tensions and conflicts, with the focus sometimes shifting away from national unity or regional needs. The next point, number 7, please write down. Areas of tension. The text highlights various historical challenges India faced, including issues related to the partition, displacement, integration of princely states, reorganization of states, and language-related protests. Number 8. Next point, Jammu and Kashmir. It delves into the specific case of Jammu and Kashmir, explaining the historical context, the roots of the problem, and the complexities of its political situation, including external and internal disputes. Then, number 9. Next point, very important, Article 370. The text mentions Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, which granted special autonomy to Jammu and Kashmir, and how this special status led to differing opinions about integration with the rest of India. Then, number 10, next point, political developments. It outlines the political developments in Jammu and Kashmir from the post-independence period, including the dismissal of Sheikh Abdullah, the role of the Congress party, and the rise of insurgency in the late 1980s. The next point, number 11, insurgency and beyond. The text describes how insurgency became a major issue in the state in 1989 and the subsequent violence and military intervention. It also discusses the shift from separatism to a desire for peace and negotiations with separatist groups. Then number 12. Next point. Plural society and politics. The chapter highlights that Jammu and Kashmir is a living example of a plural society and politics with diverse religious, cultural, linguistic and political aspirations, but it has managed to maintain its plural and secular culture. The issues that we discussed provide an in-depth analysis of the challenges and complexities faced by India in managing regional aspirations for autonomy within the framework of a diverse and democratic nation. Let's move to another very important topic. Please stay tuned. Note down everything. Punjab. Next point, number 13 under Punjab. Social composition changes. Social composition changes. The social composition of Punjab changed due to historical events like partition and the creation of Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. Punjab was later reorganized into a Punjabi-speaking state in 1966. Then next point, number 14. 14. Akali Dal and Sikh majority. The Akali Dal, a political wing of Sikhs, played a significant role in advocating for the formation of Punjab as a Punjabi-speaking state. Sikhs became the majority in the truncated state of Punjab. Then next point, number 15, political context. The Akalis came to power in 1967 and 1977 through coalition governments. Their political position was uncertain as their government was dismissed mid-term. They lacked strong support among Hindus and faced internal divisions among the Sikh community. Then number 16, next point, Anandpur Sahib Resolution. During the 1970s, a section of Akalis began demanding a political autonomy for Punjab. The Anandpur Sahib Resolution called for foreign autonomy and redefining the center-state relationship. It also mentioned the aspirations of the Sikh Qaum and dominance of the Sikhs, which could be interpreted as a plea for a separate Sikh nation. Then number 17, the next point, violence and Operation Blue Star. Operation Blue Star. The movement escalated into armed insurgency with extremists advocating for a secession from India. They occupied the Golden Temple in Amritsar. In 1984, the Indian government conducted Operation Blue Star to flush out militants, but it resulted in damage to the temple and deep resentment among Sikhs. Watch my video for a detailed explanation about the Operation Blue Star. Number 18. Next point, anti-Sikh violence. After the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi by her Sikh bodyguards in 1984, violence against Sikhs erupted in various parts of India, resulting in the deaths of thousands of Sikhs. The government's response and punishment for the perpetrators were criticized. Then number 9, the next important point, road to peace. In the 1980s, the government initiated dialogue with moderate Akali leaders. The Rajiv Gandhi Longowal Accord in 1985 aimed to bring normalcy to Punjab by addressing various issues including the distribution of resources and autonomy. Then number 20, the next point, eradication of militancy. While it took time, the security forces eventually eradicated militancy. Peace returned to Punjab in mid-1990s and normal elections were held. The state shifted its focus to economic development and social change, although religious identities remained important. Let's move to Northeast. our next topic, number 21. Regional aspirations. The Northeast region, comprising 7 states, witnessed significant regional aspirations in the 1980s. The region faced isolation due to its geographical location and experienced political reorganization over the years. Then number 22, the next point, demands for autonomy. Demands for autonomy. The region had demands for autonomy, with various communities seeking separate states to protect their cultural and linguistic identities. Meghalaya, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh were carved out of Assam. Then the next point, number 23, secessionist movements. In some cases, groups demanded complete secession from India. The text highlights the Mizoram and Nagaland situations. Mizoram successfully negotiated a peace agreement, while Nagaland's problem awaited a final resolution. Then number 24, the next important point, challenges. The Northeast faced challenges due to its isolation, complex social composition and economic neglect. The region struggled with issues related to autonomy, secession, and opposition to outsiders. In summary, the 1980s were a tumultuous period for both Punjab and the Northeast, marked by political turmoil, demands for autonomy, secessionist movements, and efforts to restore peace and normalcy. This is the end of this video. I hope it was useful. If yes, please like this video and share it with your companions. Thanks for watching.